Stamford High School, and the Fairfield Ludlowe Falcons. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First for Stamford, a freshman and number 23, Charlotte Perugas. A junior quarterback, number 2, Megan Lansadol. A junior quarterback, number 10, Jess Nelson. A junior quarterback, number 22, Dina Marone. And a senior quarterback, number 15, Claudia Moses. The Black Knights are coached by Diane Burns. And now the starting lineup for Fairfield Ludlowe. A sophomore, number 10, Juliette Boucher. A sophomore, number 11, Emma Sorello. A sophomore, number 13, Emma Coleman. A senior co-captain, number 20, Paige O'Connell. And a senior co-captain, number 15, Bridget Coleman. The head coach for the local high school is Sarah Tinsley. Your officials for tonight's game, Mr. Larry Langhorn and Mr. Tom O'Reilly. Ladies and gentlemen, this time we'd ask that you please rise as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
It is where your wildest dreams unfold, your worst nightmares can come true, and we're ready to begin our run to the sun in 2019 as we welcome you to the first round of the 2019 CIAC Class LL Girls Basketball State Tournament. It's the number 14 seed, the Fairfield Ludlowe Falcons, and the number 19 seed, also out of the FCIAC, a battle of the FCIAC tonight, as the number 19 seed, the Stamford Black Knights. Good evening, everybody. Alongside Scott Torello, I'm Aiden Blank. So glad that you could join us for a little high school girls basketball for what could be the final time this season. Scott, it's a big game. Should really be a good one.
Ludlowe beat Stamford earlier in the season, but Stamford is a much improved team at this point. At that point, Megan Lansadell, their best player, was just coming back from injury. Their other senior guard, number 10, she was just getting going in the start of the season. This is going to be a much tougher battle tonight.
The Black Knights moving from our right to our left. Ludlowe from our left to our right. From center court, O'Connell a tough time handling it. Palm in the fake, baseline drive. And our first foul of the night, just 30 seconds in. It's Anna Pullman, this sophomore, headed to the line. Gonna go shoot two and try and give the Falcons their first lead of the evening.
Yeah, great pump fake. Got the girl up in the air. Attacked the body of the Stamford defender. It's a great play right there. Nice way to start the game. Nice getting early, easy points from the foul line, too, Aiden.
First
it's a nice
shot.
way to kind of break the ice.
The first shot from Paulman, who we've been really getting on for the free throw shooting, but she's really improved, you have to admit. From the time where they were playing Wilton and their earlier season games to now, she has really improved on the free throw shooting, whereas she knocks down the first two of the game. Here's a drive and a pass that missed everything from Megan Lansdale. Bounce back out with Renee Nelson, somebody you had mentioned at the Open, the junior guard, 5'6". Big game for a junior to be playing in. She swings it over Charlize Karukis. She's a freshman. Very interesting. Going to keep an eye on her as the one-armed shot from Megan Lansdale, no good. And the rebound to Paulman, who swings to Buscher. Her first touch of the evening, brings it up on the near side. Near side being the left side on this Tuesday night.
Yeah, you see how well early Lansdale's moving. She's a very talented player. If they can get her frustrated, though, and out of her game early, I think Fairfield can pull away in this game.
Larry Langhorn and Tom Riley, your officials, only have had to blow the whistle once, maybe twice here early. As that's another turnover. Their third, the Black Knights. Buscher the bounce pass, missed everything. Did the entry pass, and it goes all the way out. A big night that will see continuing large crowd size, as they will for just about every game in this state tournament. Tried to get her from behind, but instead it's a layup and a foul, but it's actually going to be a turnover, an offensive foul coming on the Black Knights.
Yeah, what's interesting is Paige is used to being the better athlete, whoever she guards. Tonight you're seeing early on that Megan actually has speed that matches Paige's, and she has Paige's height. It's a much different matchup for Paige. She's going to have to adjust to that as the game goes on.
They're actually going to say that Lansdale stepped, so no foul was called. This is Paulman. She'll drive on the right blocks. Now gives to her sister Anna. They swing around for O'Connell. Bounce pass inside. Missed everything, including the intended target, Paulman. A nice easy run for Karukis, who dishes it off, and the first points of the night for the Black Knights will tie us at 2. Certainly a very rowdy crowd on both ends from Ludlowe and from the Black Knights.
Yeah, good passing by Fairfield that possession, but to be honest, too much passing. They pass up about 2-3 shots.
Here's Paulman on the near side. Winner's going to get Trumbull, who defeated New Canaan 62-37 in their first round game. So you have the benefit of knowing that you've got Trumbull.
Yeah, and that's no surprise, right? I mean, New Canaan,
exactly.
Although they play hard, they're not of Trumbull's caliber.
Buscher, the trigger early, and she misses. The rebound to Karukis, a freshman. Wants the ball, but instead it's taken to the hole by Lansdale, and the first points of the night, the second group of points for Stamford will give them the lead. Their first lead of the night, it is 4-2.
Yeah, now this is the start Stamford wanted, right? Keep into the game early, try and see if you can get Fairfield to be rattled, and guess what? They're turning the ball over. Too many passes, too many moves early on. They got to look to shoot.
A couple of double dribbles and turnovers to begin this game. Stamford not exactly perfect themselves. Had New Canaan won, the winner of this game would host, but instead the winner of this game is headed to Trumbull. The loser will join New Canaan in the offseason. Here's the drive, down low from Renee Nelson. She'll miss the layup. Another missed layup. There's Laura Herron. Sneakily checked into the game without us seeing. She'll check in for Buscher, so they're going to give Buscher some rest, although she did start. She comes out after about 4 minutes or so. That one off the back of the rim, no good, but a rebound by O'Connell. Pulls it back out. Torello on the right side. Now to the right corner. This is Paulman. Paulman fakes the shot, gives up to Bridget. Bridget is going to travel. She started, then stopped, and one too many steps for the senior.
Yeah, this time of year, you can find yourself out of rhythm. You know, they made it to the FCIAC tournament, which was last Saturday. You know, it seems like that was yesterday, but that was 8 days ago. The team is not used to having 8 days off and then playing again. Creates a much different environment when you try to get back into the swing of things. Even though you're practicing, you're practicing hard, there's no replicating game speed. You got to kind of adjust yourself again.
Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be Black Knight ball. The inbound goes right off to Karukis. They swung it back up top, with Jacobs tossing it off to Renee Nelson. The junior calling the shots so far for the Black Knights under head coach Diane Burns. The drive inside, a layup and a foul. Saw something they didn't like. And Stanford's going to go shoot two, make this a two-possession game should she hit both.
Yeah, beautiful cross-court pass there, finding the wide-open player. Good foul, make her earn it from the foul line.
Here's Claudia Moses, the senior forward at 5'10". One of the taller players on the court will miss her first in and out. Lanzadell is getting back in the game in just a bit. She will check in, it looks like.
Yeah, she's going to check in for the shooter.
She'll check in for Moses, who goes 0 for 2 at the line. So bad free throw shooting from the Black Knights. Missed their first two to begin this game. Here's Herron from top, moving across to the right side. 3.5 to play. Into the high post, and that's Pullman who gets whacked at. 3:29 to go. And the Black Knights commit their second foul. A very easy start to this one on both ends through about 5 or so minutes as Buescher checks back in, this time for Bridget Pullman.
Yeah, 2 early fouls on Moses, their big girl. You know, those fouls add up.
Torello all day. Unstoppable from beyond the arc. It's 5-4 Ludlowe.
It's good to see maybe the guards get a little confidence early, Aiden. You know, they've played so many tough games lately. Staples, over to Ward, over to Trinity Catholic. I mean, you're talking about a who's who in the FCIACs. Tonight, same thing, another tough game against a tough Stanford team.
Renee Nelson, top of the key with Lanzadell. Lanzadell taking it down the right block, lays it up and off the glass. Got that extra shot, and it's 6-5 as Pullman goes into the left post. Couple of moves, and she'll get an answer.
Yeah, excellent pump fake, got the girl off the ground. Love that move, Aiden.
7-6 Fairfield Ludlowe. And the drive inside, and Torello will commit the foul, her first of the evening.
Yeah, you cannot, even though it probably wasn't a foul, you cannot reach across the girl. It just looks like a foul. Got to keep those hands up, play tough D.
Torello going to get checked out. So back into the game are the 5 minus plus Herron that started the game as the rebound goes to Pullman. She drives straight up center court, right down Broadway, takes it up the left alley, now fakes the shot from the free throw line, gives it into her sister, who bounces it back out, and they go to Buescher.
Yep, every time Anna gets the ball, you notice she pump fakes. And girls are just not used to seeing that. Anna's been effective with it all season. It's really a great, old-school, beautiful basketball move.
A man-to-man to bring us out on both ends. Something that the Falcons have not gotten used to. They've seen a couple of their last teams play zone, which has really thrown them off a screen from her sister. Now Bridget Pullman for 3, and she has it. 10-6, the Falcon lead.
Yep, great screen. She gathered herself.
Right on the other end, an easy basket in transition. 10-8 off the hands of Renee Nelson, who saw the opening and took it right to the hole without anybody stopping her.
Yeah, she's a tough guard. You have to keep her in front of you. If you're trailing her down the court, we're in bad shape tonight.
Buescher, her second 3 of the night. Still no good. 0 for 2 to begin this game. 1:23 to go. Something you don't want to see. Your sophomore that really shoots a lot, missing her first 2. A long 3 off the hands of Karukis. It's no, but Herron was well ahead of the pack. Goes in on Karukis, gets fouled, and is going to the line to shoot.
Yeah, great play. Attacked the body, took it to the hole. That's how you play basketball, Aiden. You always have to be the aggressor. The aggressor usually gets the advantage, especially with these refs.
Torello about to check in after this first shot, unless it's for Herron. We'll find out in a second. Her first shot is off the side of the rim, no good. After Pullman hit her first 2, we've gone shotless from the free throw line for a while. Torello going to check in for Herron. That second shot, no good. The rebound to Renee Nelson. Home run pass down low. Karukis waits. And we're back to a tie game, this time at 10-10.
Yep, good game right now. Both teams starting to settle in.
Paulman down low, puts up a prayer, no good. Kind of rolled off the fingertips there. Didn't want to put too much on it.
Yeah, but she tracked down her own shot, right? The shooter always knows where they've missed, right? Anna put it up, immediately tracked down her own shot, found herself in the middle of 3 Stanford girls, but she just aggressively attacked. Drew the foul, go to the line, get some more easy points.
Paulman going to go shoot. Made her first. 2, and now she'll make a third. 11-10, Fairfield Ludlowe. Torello back in this time for Heron. So the same 5 that started the game are now back out. Second shot of the way for Paulman. It rolls off the front, no good. Rebound underneath, still loose. It was anybody's ball. Paulman came diving in there, but she couldn't get it. 47.3 to go in the first. We'll see if Stamford hangs on for one shot. This is going to be 23 for 1. That would be Karukis. Oh, no, we do not have another 23, so we'll have to figure out what's going on with that.
Oh,
It's actually 22 for 1.
Yep.
So it's Marone for Brenna Jacobs. Shot missed. Torello calling for it, gets it. Buscher back to the back down low to Torello, who fakes a pass. It was a beautiful fake. Down to 25 seconds left in this quarter, and Stanford will bring it up with Lansdale. Brings it up on the right side, now takes the shot from just inside the three-point line, and Stanford, their first lead since way back when in this game. 12-11, the Black Knights lead. Down to 9, this is Torello. Buscher in the corner at 6. Inside, in the right, the entry pass missed everything. Down to 3, 2, 1. Lansdale from half court, and it's just off the backboard and no good. So a very hot start for both teams on offense. 12-11 is your score at the end of a quarter. And Scott, you bring these two teams out, getting a feel for each other. Didn't score a ton of points in the beginning, but by the end, their offenses are in full swing.
Yeah, it's to be expected. As I mentioned, they haven't played since last Saturday, right? It's 8 days ago. Even though you could practice and prepare, there's nothing like being in a game. So it was natural for them to have some rust early. But as the game unfolded, you saw some of the better players for Stanford start to take over. That last pull-up jump shot by Lansdale, that's not a move you see many girls making. That's a next-level, high-caliber move. If she starts to get more comfortable and more confidence in this game, they're going to have their hands full tonight.
8 minutes on the clock. We'll get the last 8 minutes of play before halftime. It's 12-11, Stanford on top. We'll take a look now at the Class LL girls basketball bracket. We were talking about the run to the sun earlier, and there it is. We know Trumbull has won that game, so Trumbull will play that game on March 1st. That is Friday at 7 o'clock. We'll be at Trumbull. The winner of this game, Ludlowe Stanford, will play against Trumbull for the right to go to the quarterfinals. Below them, some dangerous teams, too. You know you got Ridgefield, a team that not a lot of people expected to go all as far as they did, but they certainly did. And they went to the semifinals of the FCIAC tournament and are bouncing back here. They'll play in the state tournament tonight as well. All the first-round Class LL games, with the exception of that game between New London and Darien, which was last night that New London won, are being played tonight. Pulls up from the right free throw line extended, misses, travel down low, going to get called against one of the Stanford players.
Same move right there, right? They set a very high screen for Lansdale. She decided which side she wanted to go to. They're going to have to switch and pick her up early. She's shown now 2-3 times in a row that she will pull up and shoot the elbow jumper.
Here's Buscher. One-on-one with Lansdale. Top of the key with Torello. Torello would drive down the right side. Now this is Paulman. Bounce pass. Buscher was almost unable to control, but barely gets a hand on it. Bounce pass in. This is Paulman. Fakes a couple of passes, couple of dribbles. Now back out Torello on the right side. Pass to Paulman was nearly intercepted, but she'll drive, throw it off the top of the rim, and no good. Backboard, and no good. So here comes Lansdale, the junior guard, 6 foot, up top.
Yep, she's calling the same play, the high screen. This time she decides to go away from it. I mean, that's a beautiful pass.
Easy basket missed underneath. Is it a shooting foul is the question. Because if not, it's just a Stamford ball, but it actually looks like they will say it is not a shooting foul. She was not in the act of shooting. So 4 fouls on Stamford, 3 on Fairfield Ludlowe. 6:55 to go before halftime. Ada Blank, Scott Torello in the first round of the Class LL Girls Basketball State Tournament. And a double dribble is called instead of that foul where they may have got a little physical there. They'll say she double dribbled before then.
Yep, actually they called 3 seconds on the other girl, which is an interesting call. You see, Lansdale, when they played them the first game, she was not healthy. She was just getting back. Tonight you're seeing the caliber of player that she is. She's healthy. She's confident. It's going to be a much different game tonight, Aiden. Fairfield Ludlowe dominated the first game. That's not going to happen this time.
A turnover down low, and the layup makes it 14-11. So Stamford out to their largest lead of the evening, a 3-point lead. And a timeout is called. Stamford, a team that is certainly not going to go down easy. They didn't have a very good go of it in the CIAC tournament, much like Fairfield Ludlowe. Both these teams eliminated in round 1. Ludlowe the 6, Stamford the 8. Stanford had to go and play the number 1 team in the CIAC and in the state at this point, the Norwalk Bears. They went in, they were down 21-0 at halftime. It was just a bad game all around. They would really never recover. 59-29 was the final. The Black Knights falling on this very court. So both these teams, this bringing back some bad memories. Their first games back here since losing in the CIAC quarterfinals about a week or so ago.
Keep in mind, Lansdale was sick that game against Norwalk. So you're playing the number 1 team in the state. You're playing a team, Norwalk, that has incredible athletes. You're missing your best player. It makes sense that game got away from them early on. This is a much different Stanford team that you're seeing tonight, and the competition they're playing is much more to their caliber. So this is going to be a tight game all the way through.
Diane Burns is entering her 3rd year as the head coach of the Stamford Black Knights, as is Sarah Kinsley, so a couple of 3rd-year head coaches. Diane took over a really good Black Knight program. As nice easy jumper from O'Connell, 14-13. Diane took over a program that was actually coached by our athletic director, Todd Barnes, for a number of years.
Yep, Stanford has excellent athletes. They've always had good programs, good players. She's continued that tradition of kind of keeping the winning going.
They won an CIAC championship at one point. They've been to a number of championship games under Todd Barnes, and she had a really big shoes to fill, and she well filled them perfectly. Here's Buscher near side. Playing with Lansdale, looking for a screen, and the pass went nowhere. Intercepted. Lansdale drives down the left block. No good. And Buscher making up for that pass, getting the rebound. Here comes Torello. She'll bounce pass out to the left side where Paulman drives baseline and then backs it out. Buscher there moving fast. Here's Torello. She faked it. They wanted a double dribble, but Paulman's going to turn around and hit it and give Ludlowe the lead once more. First time in this quarter, Ludlowe takes the lead. 15-14 Falcons.
Yeah, Ludlowe got away with it right there, right? Emma was open. She should have stepped in and shot. Luckily, 2 girls ran at her. Not sure why. Nice bounce pass into Anna, who finished with a nice little layup.
At the next dead ball, Idabochi will get her first time on the court tonight. As the foul coming against the Black Knights is going to be an offensive foul and a turnover.
Illegal screen set by Nelson. That's a very favorable call for Ludlowe right there. It's a tough play, right? Lansdale's driving hard. The girl's trying to hold her ground. Tough play.
Inbound, Torello brings it up the right side. Now gives Paulman a couple of bounces, goes down, and is fouled. That's going to be the Black Knights' 6th. It looks like.
Yep, nice aggressive drive. They're calling it on the ground. I was hoping she was shooting right there.
Ludlowe playing perfect so far. Very little mistakes except for that. And we're going the other way as it went off the shoe of Idabochi.
Yeah, good reach in by Nelson. Could have called the reach there, but looked like a pretty clean swipe.
It's going to be brought up by Lansdale, tallest player on the floor. She swings it across. Karukis, a long bomb, and she misses.
Yeah,
Rebound to Pullman.
Only a freshman. She's going to be a good player.
They swing it around. This is O'Connell, and she'll hit it. Ludlowe has a 3-point advantage now, so they have an opportunity to get it 2 possessions if they can get a stop at a basket.
Yeah, I love that Paige is looking to score tonight, Aiden. Right? Not normally her MO, but she's finding herself open. They need her to make these shots. It'd be very important in this game if she keeps being aggressive.
Right to the hoop goes Lansdale, and on the other end, this is Pullman. Bounce pass through the legs of Lansdale, and the jumper no good, but a rebound by Stamford. Lansdale throws it up across. This is Moses. She drives, gets it, and one. Jessica Renee Nelson is going to the line for Stamford with an opportunity to get a 3-point play that would be vital in this ball game.
Yeah, you see when she gets ahead of steam, starts going toward the basket, very difficult to stop her.
Renee Nelson going to go shoot. Stamford having a, I would say, average year after having a 14-6 end to their last season. They finished 12-4, 14-6 in the 2017-18 season, but in 2018-19, not the way that their season goes. It ends 10-6, 7-8 in the FCIAC, barely good enough to get that 8 seed.
You're right, but Lansdale was hurt early. They went on a nice run to end the season.
Pullman's hacked and is going to go shoot. It looks like they'll say it is a shooting foul.
Yeah, very hard foul right there. Missed her completely, smacked her right in the head.
It's going to be the 17th foul on Stamford, so while Ludlowe only has 4 and has a couple to give should they need him at the end of this half, as Pullman will miss her first shot. Stamford does not have any to give, and they're putting Ludlowe at the line for free baskets every single time.
Yeah, nice being in the bonus, 3:37 left in the half. Be nice to see them take advantage of that.
Shot's no good. The Stamford rebound. Here's Nelson. Nelson the bounce pass. Inside a collision. That was Ida Bochi.
Yeah, but that's no foul, Aiden. That's just great hustle.
It was not, but that is. And that's an N1. And Fairfield Ludlowe has an opportunity for a 3-point play. We'll see if Ida Bochi's all right. Looks like that's who Juliet Buscher may be checking in for. We're going to find out. It's the 18th foul on Stamford. Yeah, it is. We'll see how Ida looks to be moving fine. That was a nasty collision down low. It was her and the freshman Charlize Karukis.
It was a big collision, but it was a clean play. She got the ball. After she tipped it, she hit the girl. It looked worse than it was.
Both of them immediately hit the deck, but then immediately got up. Lansdale having her way down low. The rebound. The drive from Karukis. Now they give Nelson. Lansdale, Karukis, and Nelson have been the big ball sharers so far. Entry pass was tipped. Hit the backboard for a second, but Pullman grabs it back. Now she'll drive up center. Moving into the right corner. Buscher thought about a 3, then thought better not. And then bounces it off the legs of Renee Nelson. Inbound coming from Laura Herron. Falcons coming off a loss in the quarterfinals of the FCIAC tournament, as you mentioned, at Trinity Catholic, where they were plagued by early mishaps. They came all the way back with, I believe, an 11-0 run there at the end, and almost had a trip to the semis, but just couldn't get it done, as Ida Bochi, after that collision, is right back in this game. Buscher will inbound. Had a very quiet FCIAC quarterfinal. 7 points, a rebound, 3 assists, and 2 steals. Again, a very quiet quadruple single. Shot from Herron is in and out. Fought for underneath, and somehow it ends up in the hands of Pullman, as it really always does. Largest lead on either side tonight, 22-18. The 4-point advantage, and this crowd has some new life in it.
Right, the ball was kept alive because of Bochy's hustle, right? Bochy was in there fighting, the ball gets tipped around, lands in Anna's hands. It's amazing how good things happen when people are hustling, right? Bochy has come in and has picked up the intensity level, right? We saw it on defense down here, coming all the way back and picking off that pass. That was another example right there, keeping the ball alive. Next thing you know, Anna has it underneath the basket with no one around her. That's all due to Bochy's hustle, Aiden.
So here we go. 2:28 left in the half, and then teams will go to their respective locker rooms at halftime. At the end of 3 quarters in Norwalk, it's the Bears over Greenwich, 60-22, so fair to say Greenwich will not be moving on. It's all Norwalk going to the second round.
Yeah, that's no shock.
Not really
right?
a surprise,
Yeah.
exactly. Greenwich did come in here and play very hard, though, against Fairfield Ludlowe through about a quarter, and then Ludlowe kind of just turned on the accelerators and would not pump the brakes till they had officially won the game.
The one thing I am noticing is Lansdale does not seem to like contact. Anytime you bump her, you slap her, she's making faces, she's turning, complaining. You know, they got to keep being aggressive with her. She's not enjoying that right now.
One of the biggest players on the court, 6 foot, actually the biggest player on the court, is a nice little drive. It's like a little water bug down there. 1 second, Renee Nelson's calling a play up top, and the next she's getting fouled on the drive down low. As I was saying, Lansdale is the tallest player on the court at 6 foot. O'Connell visibly shorter than her. So it's a very interesting matchup. O'Connell's certainly a very physical player.
She is. I'm telling you, Aiden, this is the first time all year that someone is taller than Paige and more athletic, right? You have not seen that all year long.
Exactly. You've seen one or the other, but never a combination.
No.
Second shot of the way after Nelson made her first. She'll hit a second.
Yeah, they have made their free throws. We have not, right? We're probably 3 for 8-ish or so from the foul line this half. Stamford has shot much better than we have.
Here's Buescher pushed into the backcourt, and that's why.
That's going to be 3 on her. That's big. She's hedging very aggressively, which I love. But when you got 2 fouls, you got to know what the situation is.
It's Claudia Moses picking up her 3rd foul. The senior will commit the 9th foul for Stamford. So the 5'10 senior that plays at the forward position is now at 3 fouls, one of their biggest players, as Buescher is going to switch. She's going to go shoot again now, as it was a 1-and-1. The next time they foul, it's 2 shots.
Yep.
Second shot on the way from Buescher. Got it. By any means necessary, it's a 4-point Ludlowe lead. As she rattles that one around the rim. Here comes Lansdale. Driving. Pass is way out there. Tried to bounce it off Aaron. Instead, it's a turnover. It's Paulman driving down the right block. She's going to miss the foul, but get the rebound. And again, she's down on the court.
Yeah, had some good opportunities there. Good defense by Stamford.
She's right back up there as she comes back just as Renee Nelson hooks it in to make it a 2-point game.
Yeah, you see how aggressively she attacks. She's a strong girl. She plays tough.
Paulman the give, Buescher the drive. Now they go back to Paulman, who loses it. Karukis saw it and grabbed it right out of her hands. Here's Lansdale down low. And an offensive foul against Stamford.
Yeah, see, I think the ref got caught there, Aiden. That was not a defensive foul. He almost got caught blowing the whistle, and so instead he calls the offensive foul. Terrible call, but there should have been no call whatsoever. That was not a defensive foul either.
You could have justified it. I mean, O'Connell and Buescher both had their positions.
You're right. That's why I think it should have been a no call. She hardly touched them to begin with, right? They were holding their positions, and she hardly made contact.
Should have been out of bounds more than anything.
I agree. Should have been no call. Well, if you make a mistake and you're a ref, admit it, right? My bad whistle, let's keep playing. Take the ball out of bounds.
Here's Aaron getting some of her biggest minutes of this game. The bounce out to Buescher. And back top. Busher the end around, and somebody traveled. It wasn't Heron, so it had to be Busher, who gives Ludlowe another turnover. 31 seconds on the dot to go. Ludlowe going to go into a press with Heron and O'Connell in the front court.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's a great job getting back there by Laura.
They put her on the biggest and possibly most skilled player on this court, Renee Nelson, who's now going to call one last play, it looks like. 15 to go. Crowd getting into it here in Fairfield Ludlowe, and we got ourselves a game. Lost it on the drive. No whistle until it goes out, and it's going to be a Stamford ball with 8 seconds to go. Do you try and maybe go for one last steal, try and get a basket at the buzzer?
Yeah, the only problem is, that could have easily been called a foul. That would have put her on the foul line. I like to see them just play straight up D here. That's another travel.
Easy passing, but took one too many steps. Emily Graham, one of her first touches of the night, and it's a turnover.
4 seconds, plenty of time to get a shot up. Oh, I throw it away.
Buscher's pass went everywhere but where it needed to go. Went right over Paulman's head, but 1.5, not much Stamford's going to be able to do.
Well, you got to not let her get the ball coming toward the basket, Aiden. Very important that you not let her catch the ball back there and throw up. See, that's exactly what she wanted to do. Look at this.
Right over O'Connell's head, but she had way too much on that last second shot. So it's 24-22, one of the most exciting games so far this season and in the postseason. Ludlowe on top, 24-22. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back for second half action when we get back here on FSN. Ready to go inside Fairfield Ludlowe. 24-22 Ludlowe, as we are just about 6 seconds away from getting things going here in the half that in all likelihood will decide the team that moves on and the team that ends their season.
Yeah, good first half for both teams. Only down by 2 for...
And here we go. It's Lansdale bringing things up.
Yeah, Lansdale and Nelson controlled the pace for Stamford the whole first half. All they want to do, Aiden, is drive right. We got to force them left.
How about a block down low from Palmy? And
good block.
A near steal on the other end, so a ready defense that kind of took a back seat in that first half is becoming high priority in half number 2. Palming will spot up, and she'll hit.
Nice shot. Always fun starting the half off with a basket.
26-22.
Getting that early basket in each half, Aiden, goes a long way. See, again, all they want to do is drive right, Aiden. Both Nelson and Lansdale, all game long, all they're doing is driving right. You got to recognize that if you're Ludlowe and start forcing them left.
Nelson got on the ground, and it turned out that's because she was fouled, as Lansdale will inbound just to our right. Aiden Blank, Scott Torello, so glad that you could join us here at Fairfield Ludlowe for a little Class LL state tournament action. Lansdale in the post, dumps it down low. Marone, no good. Rebound, the one-armed hook, and it's no good. But a third rebound is coming. Lansdale on the right baseline, no good. And finally, a foul.
Yeah, too many shot attempts, though, for Stamford, Aiden. That's not the formula Ludlow wants to see. Beautiful box out by Anna there, but all 5 girls have to box out. You can't just have one.
It'll be brought across center court. O'Connell and Buscher, the two to bring it up. She'll drive to the outside. This is Torella. The bounce pass to Pullman, a very, very tight man to begin this game, to begin this half. And it's already going to force a turnover. It looks like they're going to say Stamford touched it first.
Yeah, again, Lansdale, she complains every single play. When you complain that much, Aiden, they just stop listening to you, right? You got to pick your battles when you're a coach, when you're an athlete. You can't just always be complaining. She may not have tipped it, right? But the ref's not going to give her the benefit of the doubt.
Pullman in the right corner. Thought she got an N1, but it turns out it was a foul instead.
Yes, they called the travel.
And they threw it away.
Yep, nice face guard by Pullman there with Paige behind her. When you run straight to the baseline and stand there, you're creating a very difficult passing angle for your teammate.
So it'll be inbounded underneath the hoop, because that's where that pass was last touched. Going out in the same direction as Torello falls into the bench.
Yeah, bad inbound pass. Again, we got the turnover, and what do? We turn it right back over. That's where you got to take advantage, Aiden. Got to start pushing the lead.
They'll put Buscher on Karukis, see if that does any good. They had Heron on her for most of that first half.
See, now she's a lefty, so you got to know that, right? So she wants to go left. You got to know players' strengths when you're playing defense against them.
Dina Marone traveled on the outside after a wide open shot.
Yeah, it's almost like she wasn't expecting the ball.
Exactly. It's O'Connell to inbound. She'll go right side, and Buscher going to bring it up for the Falcons. Everybody kind of racing to their stations. We're set up at half court to break the press, but Stamford a little lighter than usual, and another turnover, second straight for Ludlowe.
Yeah, turnovers are a killer, Aiden. It's hard enough to score in this physical game. You got to get shots up.
Here comes the freshman Karukis. Brings it up top. You get the sense that Buscher's ready for this second half. She got a lot of rest at half. Kinsley probably sat her down and said, "You're guarding Karukis," and she is ready to guard the best player on the court. Or one of the best players, we'll say. Stanford certainly has a lot of their go-to girls. No foul underneath because they stood their position, and a push going back the other way.
Moses,
wow.
Aiden.
Claudia Moses having foul trouble early in this second half. 5:35 to play. The senior forward is gone. Now remember, this is very similar to what happened with Ayanna Lopes in the FCIAC quarterfinal. She is one of the best players on Trinity. Could be, depending on how she ends this season, Player of the Year in the state of Connecticut. Yeah. She was sitting most of the second half in their game with 4 fouls. Trinity won regardless. Here's the drive for Pullman, and she's hacked.
Yeah, that's a beautiful drive, right? Again, she loves that pump fake. She catches the ball, pump fakes, drives hard. Very difficult to stop.
We'll see a shot on its way from Anna Pullman. Shot of the way is good, and it's a 5-point game.
Yep, Anna's having a terrific game. She's really had a terrific season.
27-22. Again, it's a really breakout season for her and a lot of other freshmen, a lot of other sophomores that were freshmen last year, like Juliette Buescher, Emma Terrell, that spent some time on the bench getting to know the team and now are really going to excel in their roles as guards here in 2019. And as juniors next year should be outstanding, should be going for first team, second team all CIAC. They were honorable mentions this year, Torello and Buescher.
Yeah, nice accomplishments for all the sophomores, right? Anna, I think, was third team. Juliette and Emma were honorable mention.
Obviously,
really nice.
Bridget got first team,
and
as you would
and
expect,
rightfully
the
so.
senior.
She had a fantastic season. Really was the leader all season long for this team. They finished 6th in the league. This team has had a great season, Aiden. That's why you'd love to see them get to the second round now in the tournament. Who knows? You play Trumbull in one game scenario. Who knows what could happen, right? Cassie's out with mono. Anything could happen. One game at a time, but it'd be nice to take this season, get a first round win in the States, and move on from there.
Talking about Cassie Barbados, last year in this situation they were in Enfield for the first round of the state tournament, and they didn't do so well.
Yeah, that was a tough matchup for Ludlowe. They had a 6'3" girl who's playing right now at Providence College. I mean, that was a really tough first-round matchup.
Top of the key. And the interception. Here's Pullman. Driving down low on the left side. Moves to her right and she hits.
Aiden, that is a beautiful Euro step. You don't see that kind of move from a girl too often. Bridget's a righty. She Euro steps to her left side and finishes with her left hand. Let me tell you something. That is a great move.
The drive down low in the block. Lansdale got it handed to her. Gets blocked a second time. Torello out in front on the left side. Can't get it to go. But a foul underneath with 4:39 to go in the third. And we'll see what's going to happen. It looks like Stamford's going to get it. It'll be Ludlowe's foul. It'll be their second. It's on Anna Pullman.
Yeah, I think that's 3 on Anna.
So they're going to have to go most of this third quarter, it looks like, without Anna Pullman, who's at 3 fouls. 2 players so far, Pullman and Claudia Moses, have been sat down because of foul trouble. Pullman with 3, Moses with 4. The drive, the kick down low, an easy jumper, but she misses the rebound, and Jacobs got hacked. Heron can't believe it because that ball flew out of there. Really looked like she got most of that ball.
That was a clean block. You know, a lot of times refs anticipate, which is exactly what happened there.
At the line is Brenna Jacobs.
Yeah, I think she's another freshman.
She is. She hits 5 freshmen for Stamford. That's enough to put them all in to start the game.
Yeah, the future's bright then.
Jacobs, Lenora Lipson, Madison Lockery as she converts her second. Plenty of freshman talent. You know this team's going to be dangerous in years to come. Madison Lockery, as we mentioned, Carly Diamond, a couple of freshmen. Charlize Karukis, obviously, is the big freshman that will most likely be the talk of the FCIAC once she gets older. Here's the drive down low. Buescher almost had a steal. Pullman gets a steal. Here is Pullman, wants to take it herself. She's gonna. She's rejected going up, and it's going to be an inbound from underneath. This is Laura Heron to throw it in for Fairfield Ludlowe.
Yep, she went with that same Euro step to the left side, but Stamford was there that time. Good defensive play.
The inbound, the shot from Pullman. Thought maybe she got whacked on the arm, but the rebound instead goes to Jacobs. Jacobs up top, guarded tightly by Torello. Nothing but man so far defensively for either side, not wanting to go into zone yet. The drive, the kick. Karukis got the rebound to that exit attempt.
You see, same thing there, Aiden, right? She had the screen to go to the left side. She shoves off the screen, comes back to the right. These girls only want to go right.
Inside, and it falls. So just as Ludlowe was beginning to pull away, Stamford back in it with a 4-point game. That's Lenora Lipson, another freshman, who Buescher rolls right by and hits. It's 32-26.
Nice drive and finish. You know, sometimes you got a freshman guarding you, Aiden. You take advantage.
She hasn't shot much, but she gets her first points of the evening there. Now she's on defense, and there's a jump ball down low. Paulman easily going at it with Brenna Jacobs. It's going to be Ludlowe ball as O'Connell's going to inbound.
Yep, good defense, tied her up. We have the alternating possession.
They go home run pass. This is Buscher and her second consecutive basket. 34-26. Fairfield Ludlowe is starting to get on a roll offensively.
That was just an absolute breakdown by Stamford.
There's another steal. Will this be three? She's going to get hacked. So she won't get the third straight basket. Looks a little banged up underneath. Remember, she did have an injury a couple of weeks ago that sidelined her for a little bit. But she'll go shoot anyways. So she can get baskets on 3 consecutive possessions. Was a little quiet, and then all of a sudden we see a couple of big baskets, and she's right back in this game.
Yeah, you see Stamford going right back to Lansdale, right? Took her out. All of a sudden you go on a quick run. She cannot afford to sit down the rest of this game, I'm telling you right now.
Shot of the way is good, as Paulman's the first to get subbed out. Bochy comes in. Ludlowe now up to an 11-point lead. It was a 50-39 victory a couple of weeks ago when they played in the regular season. Both of these matchups have been here. They have not played in Stamford. They'll play in Stamford next year. The entry pass missed everything except for O'Connell. Buscher looking for 4 straight possessions, but she couldn't handle it. Tried a little fun move down low and instead turns it over. Lansdale other end. Inside, and she's hit hard. Hits the deck with Ida Bochy. And she'll go shoot.
Yep, listen, that's a good, clean foul. Bochy is aggressive. When she fouls you, she's going to hit you. And that's what she should do. That was a clean foul. She went high for the block. Make her earn her from the line. Again, all these girls want to do, Aiden, is get to the right side and attack the rim from the right side. You have to force them left.
Sarah Kinsley giving Juliet Buscher a nice hug over on the sidelines. Some really impressive effort she just put in on those last 4 possessions. Outran possibly both you and me together as we go to 35-28. And they swing it to Torella. Now Bochy for 3. Beautiful shot, but just misses.
Yep, good shot. She was open. She has beautiful
got a hand
form.
to it. Heron got a hand to it. Kinsley wanted the ball, but again, not really a big deal at this point. You're up 13. That one poked free. Torella almost had it. Would have been a big momentum shift. Lands it down, and it's turned over again. Ludlowe starting to cook up a little run. Buscher. They work it around, and Heron's pass goes out of bounds. But it's going to stay Ludlowe ball. And a timeout is used by Sarah Kinsley, giving her team a breath.
Yeah, good timeout. It looked like Paige got hit right in the nose. And when that happens, Aiden, your eyes water up. You can't see. Yeah, you can see she's holding a napkin to her nose. It looks like it's bleeding. That hurts. Good timeout there. Give her a chance to get out of the game. You see her wiping her eyes. I'm telling you right now, her eyes are tearing. She got hit right in the nose. It stings. And you just kind of have to regather yourself and fight through it.
We'll see if they sub her out. It looks like they probably will.
I think
Didn't
Bridget,
see a sub go to the table, but we're going to see.
Bridget is going to sub in for her.
Yeah, we're going to see Bridget sub in. See what happens so far. Talking to our wonderful athletic trainer, Sydney Judkins. And it looks like she will sit out for a little bit.
Yeah, you almost think the kick ball there was probably the best thing that could have happened. It gave them a chance to call the timeout and let her regather herself.
I believe that's the first time tonight that O'Connell's been out, as Paulman goes for 3 and misses. She's played most of this game, if not all of it. Lands it down on Heron. That's a big mismatch, and it turns into a basket down low. Suddenly, we're back to a 5-point game. Just when you think you can count Stamford out, they do something Ludlowe does a lot and brings it right back in as the teams are going to start to trade baskets, 37-30.
Yeah, 2 back-to-back beautiful drives. First one by Lansdale. Nice shovel pass to her teammate. Emma comes right back. No one stops ball. Guess what? Keep going right to the basket.
They give it away. This is Karukis. Looks like that's going to be another basket, this time a 3. 37-33, we're out to a 4-point game. Here's Buscher.
Yeah, you see Lanzadell starting to take over. Again, she came out for a short rest, Aiden. We pushed the lead to about 10. They just bring it right back in.
A foul inside. O'Connell probably will check in at the end of this quarter. She'll probably check in for the 4th.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I think she's over there with an ice pack on her nose, though, Aiden. That doesn't look good to me.
Yeah, it does not. But obviously in a game like this, you do anything you can to stay in this game. Buscher wide open. That was a mistake. And that's why. 40-33.
Big shot. We're trading baskets back and forth right now. This is a good basketball game.
We're talking at halftime. You asked me who was going to win this game, and I said, Ludlow's got to have somebody step up. And Buscher may be that somebody. Karukis. A 3. Straight on. Got it!
So you see 2 times in a row now they've run her off screens. Nice adjustments by Stamford.
Here's Aaron. In and out. But the rebound for Bochy, she's really outsized underneath. Other end, and the layup. 4.1 to go.
Big turn of events here. Stanford has really turned this around.
I think it was a foul, they're saying.
They did. They called a foul on Pullman and 1 opportunity for Nelson.
6 fouls on Ludlowe, 5 on Stamford. Coming into the 4th, neither really has a foul to give. What an exciting game this is.
Yeah, 4 seconds left. Again, plenty of time to get a shot off. Got to be smart.
Off the back of the rim, it goes around. The last chance for Herron, but she didn't see the clock, so she can't get it off.
Yeah, even though it's a low probability shot, you gotta know the game situation. You gotta know the time on the clock. You gotta put that up toward the rim.
So it's 40-38. I think we need one more break. And we'll come back for the last 8 minutes of basketball here in the opening round of the Class LL State Tournament. It's Ludlowe 40 and Stamford 38. Back inside Fairfield Ludlowe, it's 40-38.
Yeah, excellent basketball game. Should be an exciting 4th period. I like what Stanford did at the end of the 3rd there, Aiden. They took Lanzadell off the ball. See, she's been driving into too much traffic when she's been playing the point guard. They took her off the ball, ran her off screens, got her some open threes.
Here we go in the 4th. They swing it around to Jacobs, who drives. Swing back out. This is Dina Marone. Now the drive inside, and Lanzadell, the baby hook, ties us. Ludlow's lead was as many as 13. And now we're tied. Torello wants somebody to come to the ball. That somebody is Bridget Pullman. And off a screen, tried to go inside to her sister Anna, couldn't get it. Stanford an opportunity for the lead. Lanzadell, the bounce pass off the left block. Couldn't get, the right block. No! And Buscher, they're going to say she was out of bounds when she picked it up, it looks like.
Yeah, she was out of bounds. You got to reestablish both feet inbounds before you can pick the ball up and keep running. Hey, listen, it's good hustle by everyone.
She had it in mid-sprint and would have almost certainly got at least a shot off. 42-40 Stanford.
Yeah, 4 quick ones by Stanford. Ludlowe needs to regather themselves right here.
Here's Torello. Driving. Here is Heron. She hits 42 all.
Yep, excellent drive. When you drive baseline, Aiden, everyone turns and looks at you. Right next thing you know, Heron's standing there wide open on the elbow. Nice job knocking it down.
This is Lansdale backing out on Heron. Here's Jacobs. The bounce pass nearly stolen. 3 is off, and it falls right into the lap of Laura Heron. This is Bouchard down low. Thought there may have been a foul. Everybody thought there may have been a foul, but there was not.
Ludlowe maintains the ball. That's most important. Nice pump fake. Beautiful one dribble jump shot. That's, again, you're seeing some really good basketball being played right now, Aiden.
44-42. It's the Ludlowe lead. Back to kind of where we were in the first half. Back and forth affair. See how it ends. One arm took. Off the left block, no good. Loose on the floor. Diane Burns thought she called a timeout before.
We'll good hustle by everyone.
She did not. They're going to give the ball to
I think they called jump
Ludlowe.
ball.
Yeah, they're going to say it's a jump ball, so they will give it to Ludlowe. Diane Burns thought she may have called a timeout before then. But
she's calling it anyway, but
so a timeout is used. It's 5:45 to go. 6 fouls on Fairfield Ludlowe, 5 on the Black Knights.
This is interesting, right? We were standing out of bounds with the ball. It'd be interesting to see if it's our ball and they change the arrow, which they haven't done yet, or if they granted her the timeout and give the ball to Stamford. I'm assuming they called jump ball, Ludlowe ball, granted her the timeout. But, you know, the refs did not go over there and signify anything, so the arrow is still pointing to Ludlowe.
See if we can get you some other scores. We know it's a big night in basketball. Wilton and Danbury, 2 of the teams in the FCIAC quarterfinals. Semifinals.
On the boys' FCIAC bracket?
There's a big game up at Mohegan Sun Arena tonight. The next time Mohegan Sun Arena hosts a high school basketball game, it'll be the state championships. But there's a big ECC Division I final.
Yeah, this is interesting, Aiden, right? They gave Ludlowe the ball, did not change the possession area. I'm telling you, this is going to come back into play later on in this game.
Danbury is in the FCIAC championship, a 68-48 victory over the Wilton Warriors. Trumbull is up next against Ridgefield. So on the boys' side so far, most of the seeding has gone through. The 3-seed Danbury over the 2 Wilton. Inside layup, no good, but a rebound still loose. And they swing back out.
Yeah, interesting, right? They're taking Lansdale out for a quick break. Remember, she was just sick. Ludlowe has to take advantage of this right here, Aiden. Push this lead with her out of the game.
Moses to Nelson. Tough time controlling it was Marone.
Travel.
They wanted to travel. Here's Karukis.
That's double travels they didn't call there, Aiden.
Back up top. The drive, splits it. And a foul going against Fairfield. Ludlowe will put Stamford at the line for a 1-and-1.
Yeah, Stamford got away with 2 travels. Then they get the 50-50 call.
A very loud, very noisy crowd here at Fairfield Ludlowe.
They called the foul on Anna, which is her 4th. I'm not sure Anna was in the play. Either Emma 11 or Pullman 15 were in the play.
Top of the key. This is Lansdale. Perfect shot. Not a perfect finish. Up and down, and it's a jump ball.
So the refs The refs are conferring they did get it right. Okay, so
they will
right.
give it away.
Yes.
Not sure where the jump ball was, though. She was barely in for a second. It looked more of an up and down as Lansdale's going to drive and miss the shot. They've had every opportunity to score points. Karukis still no. Finally, the shot and one! Took a second to fall, but it did.
Too many opportunities, Aiden. Too many second chance opportunities. Third chance, fourth chance, fifth chance. You cannot win games doing that.
It looks like it finally ended with Dina Marone getting the basket, as she'll be the one to shoot at the line after a couple of misses from Lansdale, one, and Karukis, two. Marone will miss, and Paulman has it. 44 all. Big game. You lose, your season's over. You win, you're in trouble on Friday night. A game we may have live streamed should Ludlowe be in it. Storello's going to get fouled.
Yep, good play.
Trouble.
Attack Lansdale.
Be Stanford's sixth.
Attack Lansdale, that's her third. 4 minutes left in the game. She's in good shape, but you don't ever want to see those fouls accumulating.
Inside, Paulman bodies her way through. No, she misses.
Got to force her left, Aiden, and no one's guarding number one.
Easy layup for Brenna Jacobs. Stanford the lead, 46-44. Layup missed on the other end, but a steal from Torello. This is O'Connell. She can't get it. A rebound. Torello's on the floor.
That's going to be her fourth, Aiden. You cannot swing your elbow like that. Much too obvious. That's four on her.
And especially when you're guarding somebody that is a lot smaller than you. You're 6 feet and you're guarding somebody that's a good 5-6 inches smaller than you. You can't do that because you know she's going to sell it perfectly, which she did. Butcher. On the left side, the swing, on the right side. Now she's on the left side, and she traveled.
Getting to be crunch time right now, Aiden. Going to need better possessions coming down the stretch here.
They inbound with Karukis, guarded by Butcher. Tough assignments here because between the three guards, Butcher, Torello, and Heron, one of them's got to guard Nelson, one of them's got to guard Karukis, and one of them's got to guard Lansdale. It's not an easy no-brainer. You can't just say best guard's going to go against their best guard because there's two others that are just as good as her. Top of the key, Jacobs wasn't ready, and the timeout coming from Diane Burns. 3 minutes on the dot left in this game, and likely left in one team's season. 46-44, the Stanford lead.
Yeah, this game is still anyone's to win. 3 minutes left. Both teams are in the bonus. Again, it's going to come down to who is more efficient on offense. Right? We've seen a lot of turnovers by Ludlowe the second half of the third period and the start of this fourth period. Too many empty possessions. They're going to have to be cleaner on offense. On defense, they got to box out, Aiden. You can't give them 3-4 opportunities at the basket. Eventually, someone's going to score. You can't do all that hard work and then continue to give them second chance opportunities.
46-44. 8 fouls on Fairfield Ludlowe, 7 on the Black Knights. We'll see how this ends up. For Stanford, they bring out Karukis, Renee Nelson, Claudia Moses, Lansdale, and all the way over there is Marone, the center. Oh, no, excuse me. Instead, they go with Moses as the center. Butcher trying to do her best to guard the freshman. And inside, Jacobs traveled. They get a little lucky there and a turnover. They'll take it.
Yep, important possession right here, Aiden. Little offense for defense substitution. Take out Moses, who has 4 fouls.
Here's Buescher. Up on the right side. Stamford bench getting into it. Haven't seen much of the Ludlowe bench. Usually they're the more energetic bunch, but tonight they've been, for the most part, silent. It's Sarah Kinsley, the one who's yelling on the sidelines, and right now she's yelling for a timeout. She'll get it with 2:26 to go, still 46-44.
Yeah, good timeout. They're very unorganized there. Next thing you know, Stamford has them double-teamed around half court. That's a danger zone. You turn the ball over around half court, that leads to an easy layup going down the other end. I like that timeout. Plenty of time in this game. Let's get organized. Let's run a play that you think you'll be successful with and get off a good shot right here.
We'll see if they can. Would really need a basket. We're going to find out who's going to step up in their biggest game so far this season. A group that's got to bear down and try and get some baskets. Trailing by 2. It's Herron, Torello, Buescher, and the 2 Palmets. Paige O'Connell has not come back in. Here's the drive. This is Anna. She's back out. This is Buescher, and she misses. It was right on line, just missed. That's loose underneath. Herron's on the floor.
That's great hustle right there, Aiden. That was a good possession, right? They ran a good set, reversed the ball around. Nice shot by Juliet. Great hustle right there to keep possession by Laura Herron.
2:11 to go, and it's 46-44. I believe they called that a jump ball.
They did.
Because there was no timeout, no other reason, unless it was a foul, which it wasn't.
Nope, they called jump ball. Possession arrow swings.
Buescher from top. On the right side. Driving on Lanzadel. Decides she's not getting anywhere. So she gives it off to Paulman. Torello off a screen, had it strip free. Loose. And they get it over to Karukis. Lanzadel left side. In and can't get it. Herron the rebound. They've had a million chances. They need one to fall. 1:30, and it's Juliet from top. And she'll bounce it off the shoe of Lanzadel, give everybody a chance to catch their breath and say their prayers for this final 126.
Yeah, this is officially crunch time right here, Aiden.
Stanford's in the bonus. Ludlowe is as well. Inside, Paulman to Herron. To another Paulman, back to Herron. And Torello on the left side. From the top of the key, moving farther into the left. Now, top of that paint. Paulman misses. Torello underneath. Wanted a foul, and they're jumping around asking why there wasn't any. As Lanzadel gets tripped coming up from half court. That's a call that really could decide the game. It's one thing to miss one or two earlier in the first quarter, but it's another thing to miss one with 1:03 to go in the fourth.
Yeah,
that ends up putting a team at the line now.
1-1. First one's critical. Again, 1:03 left, still plenty of time, but they haven't looked real efficient on offense this last couple of minutes.
Here comes the shot. She got it, 47-44. A 1:03 to go, wow. Could you draw it up any better? She misses the second. No foul underneath. Stamford wanted it. So Ludlowe will get that call back. And the ball's going to stay with Ludlowe. It was a timeout, though. So it looked like Sarah Kinsey was calling that.
She was. She was calling timeout. It's funny, all season long they've had trouble hearing her call timeouts. I don't know if it's her pitch or they're not used to hearing a woman's voice. But it is interesting how they do not recognize her calling timeouts.
She certainly is very vocal at times on the sidelines, I'll give you that.
It's true, right? She's extremely vocal. So maybe she's so vocal they, because they're refs, right? You're supposed to tune people out. Maybe they just tune her out like they do the crowd and the players and everything else. It is interesting, though, how they do not recognize her calling timeouts. It's happened all year long.
56.2 to go It's Ludlowe trailing 47-44. 9 fouls on Ludlowe, 7 on Stamford, none to give on either side, because every time they foul, we're going to see free throws, and I have a feeling we're going to see a lot coming up.
Yeah, 56 seconds, a lot of time left. Most importantly is a basket right here. They don't need a three, they just need a basket.
19 versus 14. Ludlowe getting to host this game. And very, very proud of it. 50 seconds. Torello.
Now they look confused right here, Aiden.
Here's Paulman. She'll shoot. She misses, but Hare in the rebound. Busher yelling for it, screaming for it, and finally she gets it. And finally, again, they have a tough time hearing Sarah Kinsley. She'll get her timeout with 26.8. Very lucky, though. That shot looked like it was perfect. You couldn't have drawn it up any better. Paulman got a wide open shot for three, but just couldn't hit. But Herron comes in and saves the day with that rebound. Would have been fouling if they had missed.
She did get a good look, right? The problem is she was stumbling a little, so she was a little off balance, out of sorts. That probably aided in the miss, but they got a good look. Bridget, top of the key, wide open from three. They would love to get that shot again, Aiden.
They're going to get a chance to if they can draw it up right. Here we go.
So they've run this play a few times in a row. Emma's going to come to half court. Pullman's going to go all the way to the corner, but that time Stamford was ready for it.
Here we go. A season on the line, down to 20. Pullman, Torello, Anna in the left corner. Thought about a three. Want to get her free. She's got to shoot sometime. Anna, no good, underneath at the buzzer.
They call a double
We're confused
dribble.
on what was called.
The game's over, Aiden. There's not enough time. Not enough time to do anything. The clock continued to run after he blew the whistle. This is a heartbreaking loss for Ludlowe. Tough way to end the season.
That's how it ends. The Black Knights will face Trumbull in round number 2, and a heartbreaking end to this season for Fairfield Ludlowe.
Yeah, it really was. It's been a tough couple weeks for them. They've played a lot of really good teams. A shame the season ended like this. Listen, they still have a lot to be proud of. It really has been a great season. It's just when you lose, Aiden, when it's officially over, it's just heartbreaking.
So that's how it ends. Stamford 40-7 and Fairfield Ludlowe 44. Ludlowe didn't even get a chance there. Well, they had a chance, but it ends poorly.
Yeah, we had the ball with 50-something seconds left. We really didn't get a great shot off the last 50-something seconds. Credit Stamford, though, right? They knew we wanted to take a three. They were guarding us tightly. They did not yield any easy shots at the end.
And that's how it ends. A very heartbreaking way to end. But again, next season couldn't look much brighter than this. A couple of sophomores that are going to turn into fantastic juniors, a couple of juniors that are going to turn into fantastic seniors, and of course, we're going to be talking about the new sophomores, the freshmen this year coming up. And we're really going to be talking about all 4 grade levels next season with the freshmen that are coming in, the sophomores that are moving up to juniors, the juniors to seniors, the freshmen that will be sophomores. It'll be a fantastic team next year.
Yeah, the future is bright, Aiden, but right now the sting is real. You know, the end of a season, it's heartbreaking. You put in so much time in the off season, during the season, all season long. Right now, it's crushing.
So that's how it ends. Our final girls basketball broadcast of 2019. Until the winter of next season. We'll see you then. But our final for the 2018-19 season, want to say a very big thank you to Scott Torello.
No, thank you, buddy. It's been a lot of fun.
I believe just about every broadcast we've had this season. Fantastic color analyst. We've been through so much, and we can't wait to see you again next season.
Thanks a lot, buddy. Did a great job this season. It's a pleasure. I look forward to next season doing it again. You're a real professional.
With that, it's 47-44. The Black Knights will move on. We wish them luck against Trumbull. For Scott Torello and our entire FSN crew, I'm Aiden Blank. We will see you in the spring, possibly for some hockey playoffs, but if not, in the spring, we'll have lacrosse, softball, plenty of spring sports action. But again, for Scott Torello and our entire FSN crew, I'm Aiden Blank. Have a great night, everybody.